for the allied sector from Ranchi, Jharkhand. I was immensely impressed by all the presentations, especially with regard to the environment and the ecology, flora and fauna. The last presenter, Dr. Prabhu, he was speaking about non-human stakeholders, and he mentioned about animals and so on. It's very well made. I think we could also speak of the other creatures, the plants and rocks and things like that. They ought also to have their own rights. They have their own specific positions. I only make a compliment. Maybe you have something more to add to that, because we speak for the animal rights. We should also speak for the right for the trees and grass, which were suggested by the previous speakers. So, if you will wanted to add to your suggestions and presentation. Thank you.
Would you like to address the question to anybody?
Yes, to last speaker, maybe you can speak something about it.
Thank you for the remarks. Yeah. Glenn also has bias. So, thank you for to correct the we just started about the animal, so you better go ahead about the plants. Thank you. Other others.
So first the animals, then the plants.
Yeah.
Jim?
It's late in the conference, so I excuse myself to be a little playful, but I'll also be a little bit serious. I enjoyed all 4 presentations. I'm delighted I'm going to have the slides, because each one will be useful to me in what I'm trying to do at my school. The first one will be a little playful. Remind you that the task force definition of sustainability, as we explored a few moments ago, last sentence is, to realize or achieve global sustainability, we need to create socially just and spiritually whole ways for our species, parentheses, and all other species to thrive forever. So, by the way, this was going to be handed out yesterday, and it got handed out today again. You saw it, you get it in the slides, but I got lots of copies I brought with me for the task force. But I really want to thank you particularly for this. From 1961, this is so weird, 1961 to 1963, the tourism industry in Tanganyika at that time was in my portfolio as the project development officer for the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in Tanganyika. And I want to remind people that on Wednesday is closer to Serengeti. When you come in from Arusha, you go past Lake Manyara Hotel and the Ngorongoro Crater Lodge. And the crater, etc., which were in my portfolio also. So I had the world's greatest job. So thanks for reminding me and making me terribly homesick. And now for the question, which is really a friendly question, Warren, but it makes it not sound like that. Bottled water is driving us crazy in America for a variety of reasons. And you all make money on bottled water. You probably make a lot of money on bottled water in your industry, in your company. How can we explore the possibility of your company not losing profits, but helping my students at Fordham and elsewhere get this insane bottled water out of our lives? In cities where the public water supply is as good as bottled water, like New York is, it's as good as bottled water. And this is a really friendly question, maybe a 5-year venture for you all. I want you to make money, but bottled water is a heartbreaker in our country and world, and it's such a waste of people's money and everything. So how can we start, you're probably having that conversation already in your company, how can we move forward on that in a caring, loving, mutually supportive way?
My best friend growing up, his mother was just amazing in the New York Times recently. Jean Hill, she is now an activist on this very subject, and is looking to ban sale of bottled water. But that is an issue that we're definitely talking about, and just the same way I was mentioning how the students at Jesuit institutions were helping to drive change throughout our organization, and others, the way we have Meatless Mondays, Creative Tuesdays, now moving to pitchers of water, tap water, because that's really the right thing to do. Of course, we're getting pushback from Danone and other major companies that we buy so much. But I was just sickened to read the other day that now in Atlantic, they also have another one of these great big plastic seas the size of Texas that they've just located as in the Pacific. So I think it's definitely the right thing to do. It's the way that we're going as a company. And I think this kind of change usually starts in higher education when the students are now, they've left the parents or in university. So we're definitely moving that way. And that change will go through higher education into our corporate services where we're providing dining services to IBM or other companies into healthcare, etc. We can definitely see that as a development.
Thank you very much. Doesn't have to be my school, but let's get a case written about how this can be done effectively without hurting profits and stuff to help guide other companies for similar kinds of changes. And I'm not surprised at your answer. I'm not surprised you're addressing this. What a wonderful opportunity to set an example for a lot of other companies too, and some sort of collaboration between universities. Thank you.
Well, I think as mentioned, other speakers, net impact is a group of students that are really helping to drive change around sustainable development. And again, there's a group to really keep that on. So working collaboration is a really big thing. There's a project at the university, similar to Dr. Joseph at Seattle. There was another institution that really worked with the students to find the grant money to then, because they saw so much food waste, as was mentioned, and they lobbied the government, they got the money, they figured everything else out. All they did is they worked with Sodexo that said that they went to the food dumps, just sort that food waste, put it in the composter. But that's a great educational tool. So I think these kind of things are really good for the students in this great social change.
I wanted to add that our students have just succeeded in getting bottled water banned, the sale of it banned from campus. And the cost to the vendor and the food service provider, with apologies, it's not Sodexo, it's another name, I will keep nameless. It was $25,000. So the university had to basically come up with the $25,000 for the remainder of their contracts. That was the estimated cost of this food to ban the sale. You can still bring bottled water on campus, but the vending machine company and the food provider cannot sell